husband fell in love with this place when he came around the corner and saw the expanse of meadow before him and this beautiful antique Greek revival. It reminded him of some places where we had lived in the South. He fell in love with it immediately, bought it immediately, and then showed it to me because he knew that I would love it too. The first day I arrived, I walked into the barn and it felt like a cathedral. Windows high up, 3 stories open to the ceiling, and swallows flitting in and out. There's also a colony of bats that we love. We sit on the outside of the barn in the evenings, we call it bat time, and we watch them fly out through the high windows. They eat their weight in mosquitoes every evening, so bugs aren't usually a problem. Currently, there are up to 9 stalls with room for more in the antique barn. We only use 7 and rotate our horses to the interior stalls in the winter time. In the summer, they're allowed to go in and out at will. The trail system begins just behind the barn and runs all along the river and then loops around. It's about a 45-minute ride. You never get lost because as long as you're riding with the current of the river, you're going away from the house, and it's very easy to find your way back. You simply turn around and ride against the current. The trails are flat and covered with pine needles. If it's been a wet spring, there'll be lady slippers along the river bank. There are 5 meadows for grazing. In one of them is a nice-sized pond that has 250 baby catfish. We love to go out in the evenings, drop loaves of bread and watch them. It looks like piranhas. We believe that this house was built by a sea captain. The corbels that are tucked up underneath the eaves are fashioned in the design of ocean waves. And the flagpole, the largest one of its kind in New Hampshire, was once a ship's mast. We constantly keep a 10 by 12 flag flying year-round. The original house was built in 1793, and then we believe the porch, the columns, and the largest portion of the house was added in 1857. In the 70s, the great room was renovated, and we call that the wow room, because when people see it, they inevitably say, wow. We all take bets on how long it'll take for somebody to say, wow, it's very cool. The loft above the great room has been wonderful for creating a space for little ones to play their video games and be a part of the gathering, spying down on the adults. It's really a game that they love. A deck is off of the great room. Below that, we have a pavilion for outdoor cooking and barbecuing. Beyond the pavilion is the spot where we typically have our annual New Year's Eve bonfire. The entire neighborhood gathers. The neighbors are lovely. Across the street, you have folks that harvest the finest hay in New Hampshire, an electrician that refuses to charge any neighbor full price, an engineer across the street. The downstairs master is actually what was once the ballroom. Upstairs there are 4 bedrooms that are impossible to fill. We've had up to 10 guests here for long weekends, and we're sad to see them go because the house is huge and built for entertaining and sharing. The house is referred to as the Old Hawk's Place because Mr. and Mrs. Hawk raised 4 boys and 4 girls in this home. And Mr. Hawk had a plane, so he established the grass landing strip. Actually, the reason 114 runs behind the property and on the other side of the river is because when Mr. Hawks learned that they were going to put 114 in his front yard, he registered his landing strip as an FAA recognized airport and flew in and out every morning and evening. He loved to fly. And it remained active until 2002 when we arrived. I cross-fenced part of the landing strip in order to graze our 5 horses. But there's so much acreage here. One could have up to a herd of 20, 25 horses and never run out of grazing meadow. Though geographically the farm is in New Boston, New Boston schools are exemplary, but it really is very nice to be only 2 miles from Midtown Goffstown. The community here is truly remarkable. In Goffstown, everybody knows your name. They really do. 93 and the Everett Turnpike are only 17 minutes away. We love Boston. It's only an hour away, and it gives us a rural lifestyle, but also we're able to go into town for shows and Fenway Park.